Well, joining us on the show this morning, we're excited to have Courtney back from Narrow Road Home and special guest Renee. Ladies, thank you for coming in to hang out with us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Now, last week we had the opportunity to sort of kickstart the outreach, the Grace group, and kickstart some conversations in the community. How did that go?
Oh my goodness, Jody, it was a powerful afternoon. We actually had from women that had just been driving, home after dropping off kids. There was a woman that was a professional in the community of health services in Okotoks that came, that this really resonated with her. Wasn't quite sure why she was there, but just knew that she felt drawn to come to the group. We had everything from some musicians that are, recording right now some songs in Calgary on the Christian radio station showed up. It was just an amazing mix. There was our staff and the women from our group, and really, it was amazing what showed up, because truth showed up, and it was just raw and it was real, and it was just about everyone sharing their stories with a collective group, and there was a lot of healing that happened that day.
Which is so great. And so moving forward, this is going to occur every Thursday afternoon.
Yes, it is. And this is something that we're excited about. The seeds were planted, like I said, a few months ago. And we just feel that we need to reach out, that we're not to be cloaked in shame or secrecy in the home, that it's about overcoming. And it's about, literally bringing light into the darkness. And so we feel that this is a perfect way to do that. After a meeting last week, we thought we even want it to be more personalized. And so we're going to actually open up our home. So the Narrow Road Home at 440 McLeod Trail, across from Spitzy School and behind the hospital there. We want to open our home, and then if we grow, which we assume that we will, we'll just figure that out as we go, but it'll be at our home on Thursday afternoons at 1:30.
Which I think will be great. So this week's topic coming up on Thursday is overcoming.
Yes, it is overcoming, and I think that is the perfect word. If there were to be sort of a banner above the home and about what we really want to do, is the premise for healing is overcoming not only ourselves but the false beliefs that we may have about ourselves and about life.
Nice. I say nice, but nice in that, that's one that's really going to put us out of our comfort zones a little bit, and and give us the opportunity to kind of step out of that comfort zone. And doing that today, Renee, you're here kind of stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone with such courage and bravery and grace to share a little bit about your story. And how did you come to meet Renee, Kim?
Well, actually, it's just, I was sitting there last night. We were at a church group in Calgary, and just kind of a worship thing. And I looked over, and I was just overwhelmed with emotion, actually, looking at Renee glowing. And just seeing her walking into becoming the woman that she was created to be. And, 3.5 months ago, that's certainly not the picture that I saw. I had a phone call from her that she just was reaching out, that she'd come to the end of her rope. And I met her at a hospital in Calgary, and she was just a picture of brokenness, and there's no other way to put it than that. And just even her coloring and the way she looked, she had no color. Her eyes had no light. They didn't have the sparkle that we see today. And to me, this is exactly why I get up every morning, is to watch someone transform before our eyes like this, and we're just a part of that, walking out with her.
All right. And Renee, what's your story, girl?
Well, yeah, that was kind of my bottom when I met Kim. And thinking back, I would have never pictured coming this far and being where I'm at right now, especially in such a short time. And kind of going back, I've always struggled with addiction, with drugs and alcohol, as well as depression and anxiety since a very young age. And then when high school came around, that's when the self-medicating started. And my parents never really knew how to handle me. And I didn't know what was going on either. They just thought I was an emotional teenager. I just remember being really angry, out of control. But now I know that I was just broken and not equipped in understanding my emotions and being able to kind of sit through them. So yeah, I've learned a lot in the last couple months about myself, and it's funny when people who struggle with addiction or anyone who has depression, like they look back on their childhood and say, oh, I had a good childhood, like there's nothing major, like people have it a lot worse than me. But even little things in my childhood that were like things that my parents did that they didn't know that they were doing affect kids in a way, or affected me in a way that I didn't even know it was affecting me. Yeah, so.
Well, and I appreciate you bringing up, you know, the parental side of it, right? Because I think as parents, I mean, our children, as much as we love it, don't come with the handbook. And when our child is struggling in a place, you know, where similar to where you have struggled from, you don't necessarily know what to do, and you don't know how to take that next step, and you don't understand how to have the conversation, whether it's parenting or whether it's even in a friend or neighbor sort of situation, is you don't know how to approach those conversations. And I think sharing stories like yours, Renee, gives us the opportunity to understand that, okay, people go through things, and that's okay, and we just have to be able to start having conversations.